Alright, good morning guys. Welcome back. It is Sunday morning, just past 9 a.m. Gotta do a little bit of a late start, but we're getting after it. It was supposed to be pouring rain this weekend, but the Weather Channel is just apparently terribly wrong. So I'm not complaining, I get to run. Because there's no way I'm running in a hurricane. So anyways, today's video is going to be not more so about like the diet portion of my training. It's going to be more focused on like the training itself, how I'm training, why I'm training it, what I'm doing, how to train to prevent injuries, how to increase mileage safely, how to use weight training effectively for endurance and running. So that's what we're going to go over today. Not more so the diet or really the daily structure of how my days go. But so that's going to be it. But this morning, I already got my fuel in. I had some oats, like usual. You guys know the deal. I did my stretches. I got changed, massaged. Got to do some leg swings, and then we're going to go out here for, I believe I'm just going to do 18 kilometers. That's the usual. I know it's quite a bit, but for the goal I have in mind, that's what I need to do. So, not really. I feel like it's still a bit overkill, but I'd rather do too much than too little, if you guys know what I mean. But this morning we're going to do 11 miles. I'm feeling really good, because yesterday it was pouring rain, and normally if I had I don't know what to call it, is this blurry? I feel like it's kind of blurry. But if I had a treadmill I could have run on inside, I would have done that. But I do not. So I did some cross training yesterday, because yesterday was Saturday. Ooh, I have spider web in my face. Yesterday was Saturday, so I was supposed to do a long run, but it was pouring rain. So I ended up doing 2 hours and 40 minutes of cross training. I did a HIIT workout, which is alright. But today I'm feeling really good because I took that day off. The body's feeling good. My feet are feeling all right. So we're going to go hammer out. We're going to do easy 11 miles because I've done quite a bit of speed work this week. I've done 2 workout days. I did some 1200 meter repeats, 1K repeats, 800 meter repeats for our Wednesday workout. And then on Thursday, before it started pouring rain, I did 4 kilometers at marathon pace, which for sub 250 is about 4:02 per kilometer, I believe. But I just aimed for just under 4 minutes, which is, again, rather safe than sorry. But so we're going to go hammer out this 11 miles, and then I'll get back and tell you guys how I'm training, why I'm training it, and what's the method to my madness. But first, we got to get some miles in. Alright, pre-run fit check. We got just the AirPods in the ears. You got no shirt on because it's like 6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty cold. But once you get moving, I just start sweating buckets. So I'd rather just not wear a shirt at all. Plus, prevents the nips from chafing. Garmin Forerunner 965. I really want to get the 970, but I don't have $1,000 laying around, so I don't think that's gonna happen. We got New Balance 3-inch shorts. Don't know what they're called. Like, I don't know if they're called Fast and Free or whatever, but New Balance 3-inch shorts. We got Nike just Aeroswift half tights underneath. Actually, not Aeroswift. These are like some other really thin version that aren't really good on their own, so I wear shorts over them. I just have like the most basic Reebok socks. I have the On Feet New Balance SC Trainer version 4s, I believe. I've been using these instead of the 1080s because I have been kind of dealing with a little bit of a left foot problem. Nothing serious, but going into the sub 3 peak week, I messed up my left foot by doing the shoe up too tight for a repeat workout. Ended up getting some really bad Achilles tendonitis in my left foot. So that's why the lacing pattern on my left shoe's kind of funky, because I'm lacing it up in a way that doesn't aggravate the tendons on top. But if I do that and keep it pretty loose, it's usually alright. But I've been using these instead of the 1080s because the 1080s mess up my foot a lot more. Don't mess it up, but they aggravate it a lot. These do have, I don't know if it's a carbon plate or just a plastic insole in there, so they're pretty responsive, but they're such a heavy shoe that it kind of just cancels out anyway. I really do like these shoes. I'm going to need to get some new ones soon because I got these and the 1080s for the tail end of sub 3 prep, and I just burn through miles on them. So they're reaching their end. I do have a pair of Alpha Flies, but I'm only using that for like key workout speed sessions. And probably gonna use it for like my 250 simulation run as well. I'm definitely gonna stick with the Alpha Flies for my 250 marathon, but gonna get new pairs for sure because I'm gonna just use this pair for I use it for the sub 3 marathon, but I'm also gonna use it for all this training, which is probably gonna burn them out as well. But that's a fit. Enough dilly dallying. Let's get these 18 kilometers in. Alright, that's it. 18 kilometers down. Average heart rate 163. A little too high, but we'll take it. Trying to find my pace here. Sorry. 4:35. I felt really good today. My legs were pretty fresh because I didn't run yesterday. But yeah, I did talk about it on my run, but I don't know if you could hear it because maybe the wind. Filming and running is pretty difficult. But my training for sub 250 prep is as follows. So Monday, Tuesday, easy runs. Those are typically 10 to 11 miles. That's 16 to 18 kilometers at an easy pace, which is for me, if I'm feeling good, or just like average, is about mid 440s to high 440s, like 449, 450 a kilometer. That's Monday, Tuesday. Wednesdays are always my main workout sessions of the week. Those consist of tempos, repeats, track workouts like 1200s, 1,800 meter repeats, lactate threshold sessions, all that stuff. Those are Wednesdays. And then Thursday, Friday are another 2 easy runs. Those are still 16, 18 kilometers. We're aiming for 18 each easy run as we're going into getting closer and closer to the marathon, which I'm able to hit right now. So that's not going to be an issue. Volume isn't an issue. Saturday are my long runs. As of now, I'm aiming for usually half marathon worth of distance, as we're still at least 16 weeks out from sub 250 attempt. So right now is about half marathon, but each week as we get closer and closer, we're obviously going to ramp that up. We're probably going to end up in the range of 29 to 35 kilometers. Nearing the end of prep. Obviously, peak week, we're going to have a simulation. That's going to be probably a 40-kilometer workout, which is going to be brutal, but necessary none the least. That made no sense, but whatever. And then Sundays are usually off days, whether that be active recovery, low intensity cross training on the bike, or usually just a gym session. But that day is a day where we take a lot of the impact off the legs and just let them recover while still getting some slight aerobic benefit or some training in here and there. So that is my training going into a sub 250 marathon. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, hey Ben, why are you talking so much about a sub 250 marathon? You're not even signed up for a marathon yet. Okay, first off, I will sign up for a marathon. Okay, I know the general time frame I want to run it in. I want to get one from the October range to December range near the end of the year, preferably not super close to the end of the year, because I want to still be able to train. I don't have a treadmill if it's like snow and ice everywhere, so I mean for October, early November, and I do have one in mind. Thinking the one on the top of my list right now is the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, I believe it's called. Toronto Marathon. I think it's called the Waterfront Marathon. I'm not 100% on that. But it's sea level course. It's early October. I think it's midway through October. So there shouldn't be too much snow that'll really affect the training. Obviously it's going to get cooler, but that's honestly a benefit. Like I noticed even today when I'm running in cooler temperatures that you perform a lot better, and heat really is a poor man's elevation, but where I am now I'm over a kilometer elevation anyway, so I'm kind of getting a double training benefit, so that's good. But Toronto would be sea level. It's very flat, fast flat course. I've heard it's like by the Great Lakes, so the temperature should be pretty steady and mid even in October. I hope it's not too cold, but that is what I have my eyes on right now. That would give me, I believe, 16 weeks, almost exactly, for a prep, which is perfect. Usually your prep would be about 16 to 20 weeks. I'm already going into this prep with a very, very solid training base. Obviously, I just ran sub 3 a few weeks ago. So I'm going into this the fittest I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been. And a lot of you might be wondering how I'm able to get so much mileage in, like on my legs day in and day out. And the secret to that is the gym. Now, obviously, as arguably more important for injury prevention is proper diet, basically recovery. Proper recovery is arguably more important, but I definitely do think that weight training, especially for me, has been arguably the biggest key factor in keeping me almost injury free for the entire 2 years almost that I've been running. That's almost every day as well. So I really do think that consistently weight training, obviously that's legs, leg focused leg training, weight training has been the biggest key factor for me in staying injury free. Obviously, recovery is probably a bigger portion of that for most people. That's through proper rest, just getting off your legs in general, stretching, mobility, diet, and sleep. Those are the major factors in recovery and staying injury free. If you can all of those 5 things very consistent, you will stay injury free. Obviously, with running, there's going to be a point where you're going to end up getting injured. Like, it's just one of those things that's so unpredictable, because if you're out on a road, all it takes is one awkward step, all it takes is one pothole or maybe some awkward leap onto whatever, and you mess up your foot, or you do your shoe up too tight and you mess up the tendons in your foot. Like, it's such a difficult meter to play with. So obviously running, you're gonna get injured no matter what prevention measures you take. At some point something's gonna happen. That's just the name of the game. But there are ways to prevent it, and I do think the biggest factor for me has been weight training, especially legs. For me and most other hybrid athletes, they started off in the gym, then got introduced into running. Usually starts off with sports, and then after high school or college, you just get into the gym and then start running. But right after high school, I started running, and that's basically been a big factor in my life ever since. But I started off playing football, and with football, it was very consistent weight training in the gym. So I've always had a good relationship with constantly hitting legs, even though it doesn't look like it, hitting legs in the gym at least twice a week. And because of that, and because I've been maintaining that, I've been able to stay very, very more or less healthy. Obviously, I told you guys before I did have a foot injury. That's from I did my shoe up way too tight for a 100-meter repeat workout when I was in university, and I completely messed up the tendons in the top of my foot. So see, that's just one of those things, like, it's just gonna happen. But there are ways to prevent them, and there are ways to play it safe. And the biggest factor for me, and I think for you guys, if you're not doing already, is weight training. Now I'm going to take you guys into the gym. My dad is taking apart some things in there because we're getting the windows replaced, but I'll take you guys through a bit of my leg workout. Obviously not all of it, because that'd be boring as heck to watch, but I'll take you guys through a normal workout. And even though I really don't want to do it, we're going to get after it. And also, side note, my watch, for the first time since like January, is saying my training is productive, which I know I've been productive this whole time, but my Garmin is finally saying that my training is being productive. I know running 18 kilometers each day, doing speed work and training twice a day, I'm not going in reverse like it's been saying. Everything you get from your watch, take with a grain of salt, obviously, but it says we're productive. I'll see if I can pull it up here. Wait, look at this. Productive. 36:55 10K, by the way. That's deadly. I do think I could probably go faster than that, actually. But for the past few weeks, my all of my predictions just been going up and up and up and up and up. I don't know. That's Garmin. I know I'm gaining fitness. It's saying the exact opposite, but I'm not listening to it. You gotta listen to your training, and obviously you know your body better than your Garmin watch. So. But, cool side note, it's saying I'm productive again. Now, before I get into the whys of how strength training is so beneficial, we got some back squats and front squats to do. Okay, so I actually almost forgot. I was about to hop into squats, and I realized that my knees felt way worse than I normally do. So, a little quick trick, I always do this. I forgot to say it beforehand. If you are going to do any squatting movement and you aren't particularly blessed with beautiful fluid motion in your knees, I highly recommend starting out with hamstring curl movement. It helps so much. Warm up your knees, posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings obviously, if I didn't say that already. Before going into squats, I'm doing 4 sets of about 6 right now. 2 sets in. I forgot to film the first 2 sets because I totally forgot to mention it, but do this before you start squatting if you squat for leg day, and you'll notice, hopefully notice, that if you have bad knees that it helps quite a bit. Another thing that I do, since I really am not blessed with the knee mobility aspect of things, is I elevate my heels with old books because I'm at home. They don't have perfect equipment, but gotta make do with what you got. Play the cards you've been dealt. So do this. We're gonna head into back squats, 4 sets of aiming for 6 to 8. Front squats for 6 to 8 as well. Just to get more of a quad focus, and don't really have much else I can hit my whole lower body with, and squats are just such a good compound movement that you can't leave them out. Alright, back squat's done. Front squat time. God, I hate leg day. Oh. Thank God that's over. I just finished the front squat. That was really hard. Oh my God. Thank God that's over. Those are the worst. Second worst exercise of the whole workout. Worst one by far, in my opinion, are the RDLs. Stiff leg RDLs, where you go like, just cause like, even with straps, my forearms get red hot and burn. My glutes, my hamstrings, everything in the posterior chains just on fire. Front squats and RDLs are brutal, but we got all the weight I got at home loaded up on the bar, and we're going to do some calf raises and then go into the RDLs. And then we got Bulgarian split squats, which are usually brutal, but I actually love them. They're so good. They feel awesome. And then some walking dumbbell lunges, and then probably a bit of abs because I ain't up. So we're going to do these. If you can tell, I'm already kind of running out of energy, but let's get after it. Gotta show love to the calves, guys. Don't neglect your calves. Even if it's just 4 sets, I gotta hit them. I don't want them scrawny little calf, little deer legs. Don't neglect your calf, guys. Those little guys are important too. If you can, do standing calf raises. Those are muscle. Studies show that. Not to go Jeff Nippert on y'all, but do them standing. Swear to God. Alright, time for the fun part. Bulgarian split squats. Alright, God bless, those are done, but time to go into another exercise that's not much better. Dumbbell walking lunges. I'm just gonna do them in the same spot because I like using this mat. It's very comfortable compared to solid rubber floor, so we're just gonna basically do alternating dumbbell walk lunges. I don't know. We'll see. These suck. But this is the last leg workout, and then we got 2 hours. We're gonna do some leg raises, some janky leg raises using these arm hoopy things, and then some weighted decline crunches. Leg raises will hit the lower abs, crunches will hit the upper abs, 6 sets of each. which is a lot, but they're only 2 that I do, so rack up some sets there, and that'll wrap up strength leg strength session. Thank God that's over. Oh my God. Okay, we're done with legs. My legs are cooked. I did, even though I think they're even more cooked than they normally would be, because I'm usually doing, yesterday instead of obviously running, I did the HIIT workout, which is a lot more, quad and like actual like force output, like oriented. So legs are a little more fatigued than I were to be running, because running is more of like a hip, posterior chain, bit of quads, basically everything in your legs just a bit, so she have decent form. But yesterday I was doing like wall balls, I was doing burpees, I was doing stationary bike, and I was doing dumbbell lunges. The buildup of fatigue in the legs is real right now, but got through that. That was brutal. Burnt 559 active calories. Damn, that's leg day for you. Good lord. I'm sweating like a mofo. You can see the glossiness on my face. Probably, I don't know. Wow, this camera is awesome. But leg raises, decline, weighted crunches, and we're calling her a day. That's already an hour 37 minutes in. Like obviously that's with setting up the camera and filming, so a little bit of dilly dally amongst that time. Without further ado, let's obliterate the abdominal region. Alright, workout is done. So that's basically probably going to be the most fair share of this video. It's going to be about that. So I'm going to get into more of the details, because I said earlier that weightlifting was the key thing for me that helped me stay injury free. And a lot of you are probably wondering why that is. So mainly, like, obviously I'm not a scientist, and take everything I say with a grain of salt, but obviously it strengthens not just your muscles, but your tendons and your joints as well. So if you're just running, obviously you're going to build fitness, and if you start off easy and properly increase your mileage, injuries like here and there obviously. But I have seen some studies, I probably won't be able to pull them up. I watched a cool YouTube video about it, but it was about how running, if you lift weights and run, your odds of getting injured go down by like, I think it's like over 50%. Like, it is ridiculous. Just because you're putting like aggressive overload on not just the muscles themselves that help stabilize balance and are used for running, but also your joints and your tendons get stronger, because that's mainly where you're going to get injured, is if you strain a tendon or your ankle and it's not supportive enough, right? So not just only that alone, but obviously weightlifting has a huge part in staying injury free, but arguably more important thing is recovery, and proper mileage increases, proper training protocol, I guess I should say. Just increasing your mileage at a pace that your body can handle, or else you're gonna run into an injury. That's something that I did really well without really knowing I was doing it, because obviously starting out running, like some people just go balls to the walls and like go from 0 to 10k like nothing, which I was not able to do. I'm not naturally gifted like that. But so I started gradually, and then like over time I'd ride 2 kilometers here, then go back down to, let's say I was running 5k a day, and then I'd run 7k the next, be super proud of myself, go back to 5k for a bit, and then I'd end up going to 6k for my normal runs, and then doing 8 kilometers one time, right? And it's that over years and years and years. Not even guess years, months and weeks. Trying not to increase your mileage by 10% each week. That's like the deadline. That is the like golden standard. You can't go over that, or else you're boned. But yeah, a lot of, like, I know a lot of people like will watch me and think like, oh yeah, this kid's just gifted, he's able to run a bunch. But like, you guys gotta understand, I hope you guys, I'm gonna use a money analogy here. I hope you guys are all good with your money. It's like compound interest, okay? Like when you have, let's say $100, you can go spend it. Let's say like each day you have a wallet. That's money wallet and that's a time wallet. You can spend your time doing something that'll help you build, and that's an investment, right? Same with money. You can put that money, instead of spending it right away, you can put it into an investment. And over time, that from that money wallet and from that time wallet, if you invest it in the right places, not just like your money does, but your progress compounds, like compound interest. That's basically what it is. The human brain is terrible at seeing progress day by day. It's terrible at it. You can't. It takes a little bit of delusion to know that. You have to, when it feels like nothing's changing, things are changing, and it takes a bit of delusion to keep going and know that, hey, this is going to work out eventually. Because it will. Because like, just like if you're investing, let's say out of $100, you put $5 every week into a Roth IRA or some crazy thing, right? I don't really know what I'm talking about, but over time, every month, every week, you put $5 in there. $5, $5, $5. In a week, you might have $5.01, right? Over a month, you might have $10, $15, right? Over the span of years, not even necessarily years, even weeks and months on end, eventually you'll look back, you look at what you've invested in, and it's like, holy crap, I've got $1 million, and that's from $5 a week I'm putting in there. Same with your progress. Like, I started off not even able to run 5 kilometers, but every single day, 1% better each day, compound, and a year later, I'm running 30 kilometers for my long runs, going into sub 3 prep. A year and a half later, I went from not able to run 4 kilometers to running a sub 3 marathon, simply because that just compounds. The human brain sucks at seeing it. It takes a little bit of delusion to know that what I'm doing right now, I can't see it, but it's happening and it's compounding. Before you know it, if you can stay with it, that's the hardest part, staying with it. That's why everyone quits, because they don't see the progress, and it's like, what's the point? And they just stop. You have to realize, with that little bit of delusion, that even if there's no glimmer of hope right now, you gotta keep pushing. As simple as that. I just wanted to say that while I'm here. Like, a lot of people tell me, it's like, oh, Ben, you're so good at this, like, you're so good at that, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I had your genetics. Like, stop. A lot of people forget, even who I grew up with, that I was a fat kid. I was out of shape, I was fat, I was lazy, and a lot of people forget. They just see the end product and they're like, oh my god, you're a god. Like, but you have to, like, they completely forget that they were in a position that was better than me. Like, one of my buddies I started running with during my senior year of high school, we were running together. We were having competitions, who would run faster, who would run farther. This was like running 4K or 5K at a time, right? But over time, I kept coming back, and he stopped. He's like, how are you staying so consistent? I was like, because I'm seeing tiny bits of growth, and not just the growth itself that's keeping me going, it's what it's doing for my brain, it's what it's doing for the rest of my life. Putting that investment, waking up early and running, is the hardest thing to do, and that builds so much more mentally than it does physically when you first begin. And I was growing. I was like, I'm going to keep doing it, even if a week straight I feel like crap and I don't want to do it, I'll do it. He stopped. A year later, he's still stocking shelves at a Walmart. Or a year later, I was stocking shelves at a Walmart. I ran a sub 3-hour marathon. I put my money in the right spot. I invested it all in myself, got a camera. Just like Nick, I don't know if you guys know Nick Bear's story. All of the rest of his money he put into his camera, all in on himself. Exactly what I'm doing. If I want to reach my goals, it takes a sacrifice that no one else wants to take, and that's what I'm doing. Basically, what I'm trying to get at here is, you have that dream, chase it, compound not just the money but the time that you have to get there, and the growth will happen quicker than you could ever imagine. I might end this video here. Next video is going to be awesome. I ran with my friend Grace. I told you guys in the last video, she hooked me up with some guys, some scientists at the university here, and completely for free are taking me in to do a VO2 max test and another test that determines like how much pressure I'm putting on each foot and how this, like, everything's rolling. They're gonna do a VO2 max test on me. This is this Wednesday, so this video is gonna come up on Wednesday, and that day I'm gonna bring this, record it. Might not be able to record the actual session because I'm probably going in on my own. I'll see if my sister wants to join, but we're gonna go in. I'll film obviously leading up to it. I'm gonna be running, so I won't probably be able to film me dying on the test. I'll take that in. I'll see what my VO2 max is, my lactate threshold, all that good stuff. It's incredible. Like, I was talking to her as we were running. I was like, it would be so cool if I could test my VO2 max and like know what it actually is, because like a lot of people are like, oh, I wonder what my body fat percentage is, but there's no surefire way unless if you spend a butt ton of money and get a test yourself. But she's like, actually, I know some guys at MRU who are doing a study and might just take you. The next day, she texts me, she's like, here's their email, they want to bring you in to test you. I was like, oh my god. So it's 2 sessions. I will film both of them. Wednesday, and then the second one's to be determined. They're 2 hours each. First one's going to be the lactate threshold VO2 max test. They gave me the whole rundown of it. It's going to be, looks pretty tough. I'm willing to do it. If there's anyone who wants to do it, it's me. And then obviously after that we got, they're putting me on a treadmill with a bunch of ropes and pulleys, and they're taking me from like 1 G's worth of gravity to 0.8 to 0.4 and seeing how my body impacts the ground, like pressure, how much pressure each leg is getting, and they're putting nose on my legs. It's gonna be so cool. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you're running and you're not hitting the weights, you're a loss. Get after it, get up, get moving, like, subscribe, follow to join the journey, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.